Welcome to Designing and Developing Digital Age Learning, and we're going to be talking about ePortfolios. My name is Ross Rogers, and I am your instructor for this video. We're going to start off by learning about ePortfolios with the golden circle of ePortfolios, and it starts off with why. Why do we have ePortfolios? Why are we doing an ePortfolio? It is all about what is the why is all about your motivation. Why are we going to do this? Why are we going to have these things in here? That is what the innermost part of the ePortfolio is. It's about why. Next, we go on to how. How is the process? The process of what do I put in it? Where do I put it? How do I organize it? How do I create these documents? Are they already made? Am I just including them? That's what the how is. And the last part is what. What is our final product going to be? What is it going to look like? What is it going to have included in it? And those are things we're going to talk about in this video about ePortfolios. So what is an ePortfolio? Well, basically, an ePortfolio is like a regular portfolio. Portfolio is like a folder that you put things in that you want to keep and show, kind of like your student portfolios when you do parent-teacher conferences. Sometimes you keep their work that they've done so that you can show. An artist has their portfolio that they keep pictures or art pieces that they have. Well, an e-portfolio is the same thing, but it's electronically. Everything that you're going to keep over this endorsement that you are in, and this e-portfolio will be for the full endorsement for all 7 classes. We'll be using this e-portfolio. So you have to design this. Even though we're introducing it in the first class, you've got to design this so that each class has a section in this ePortfolio. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. But this ePortfolio will be for the whole class. And all the pieces that you're going to create in this endorsement have to fit into this ePortfolio. And it's going to be pieces you create. It's going to be reflections. It's going to be notes, lots of things. And so let's go on with that. So we talked about, first of all, the circle of the ePortfolio, and we're going to go to the why. Why are we doing this? So the first thing is an ePortfolio is a reflection of what you're learning. And it's best said with this quote that says, "We don't learn from experiences. We learn from reflecting on our experiences." And so the things that you are doing in class, these experiences that you're having, you learn more when you write about that. And so you're going to be reflecting in this ePortfolio on the things that you are learning in the class and the classes to come. So when you add things to this ePortfolio, always have that question in mind. Why am I putting this in here? What does it have to do with this class? And why am I why? I mean, just why? And you can almost say, who cares, as that last question states? Who cares if it goes in here? Well, it might be the professor saying it must be in there, so, okay, it must be in there. So I'm going to put it in here. Do I just create a page and throw it on there and say, okay, here's the link, it's there? Or do I put more thought process into it and say, this is an ePortfolio that is going to be part of my overall grade for this class and each of the classes that are coming. Each class is going to be building on this ePortfolio. So when I get done with this whole endorsement, and I look back on this, am I going to look at this and say, why did I put this in here? Or what did I learn from this activity? Put those things into the ePortfolio so that as you reflect back, you can say, okay, this is why I did it. And oh, this is what I wanted to learn from it. And oh, this is what I wanted to do in the future with it. Those are all part of the ePortfolios. Okay. Next, we're going to you have to think about, okay, now that I put this in here, and I explained to you about, this is why I put it in here. This is what I was thinking. This is what I learned. This is what I want to do. But if you don't put those into the ePortfolio as captions or part of your reflection on that topic that you learned that day, or into your class notes as this is in the future what I want to do with it, you won't remember those things because you remember those things right now. But tomorrow or in an hour, you won't. So put those into your class notes as, oh, in the future, oh, or this, or that. Put all those thoughts in because you'll forget them when you want to remember them later. But if you have them in your class notes or you have them in your reflection, then you can go back in. And the beauty of this is if you create this ePortfolio with class notes and you're typing all this that you're learning, and then you go back and say, wow, I read my class notes and say, oh, you know what? I wanted to reflect on that. When the reflection question comes up, you can go back, read your notes, and say, oh, yeah, this is what I meant by that, and put that in your reflection. And so think of that. And then also, you'll notice that what you put in the first class compared to the last class you take, dramatic differences. And you will see a growth that has happened from the first class to the last class in how you're using this in your ePortfolio, as how you have learned and grown from what you've done. It is really amazing that you'll do. Also, think about when you're typing in your ePortfolio, make it a dialogue. You know, make it so it's a conversation. That will help you to increase your ability to understand it and to see where you were coming from. And like I said, it will help you in your reflections also. Know yourself, okay? Don't make this make believe. Don't make this a character. Make this about yourself in this learning process. As you are doing this, realize that this is an online, live, living document. And as you create these things, your personality is going to come through that. And you are going to create your online professional identity, your personal professional identity, because we're going to introduce you to a lot of tools that are online tools, and your name is going to start to get out there. And so when people think of Twitter, if you don't know about Twitter yet, you will in this class. But my username on Twitter, people know me by my username. I mean, people know me by my name, but when you say my Twitter name, oh my gosh, people are like, oh, that's you? Oh, I didn't realize that. Or, oh, and then they make the connection. So you're going to build your online self, okay, with this endorsement through this ePortfolio. And then finally, goal setting. You know, Sometimes you look at this, how does goal setting have to do with an ePortfolio? Well, think about it. You are creating this living document online of things that you are currently learning, things that you were just introduced to, and you're like, oh wow, and that thought pops into your head after you just learned how to use this really cool online tool, and you're like, ooh, I could do this and this and this and this with that. And if you don't write it down right now, right then in your class notes, it is gone and it will be gone forever. Then you can come back and after class, you start reading your class notes to help you remember what you learned. And you're like, oh, that's right, I wanted to do this and this and this. And then you can maybe have a future page. You could create a page in your in your ePortfolio of things that I want to do after the endorsement is over. And then you can put with online tool A, I want to do this, this, and this. With online tool B, I want to do this, 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 and this. And you can start to see future projects, goals that you want to create with you or maybe with your class.